What's up, guys? Tim Alster with DragBoss Garage. Hey, here's my tribute to Arthur Camp Stanley III. You may know him as Camp Stanley. He started back in the late 70s racing this fuel-injected, blown, 69 rat mower-powered Camaro. He was part of the Wild Bunch. Him and Tommy Howe, they match raced throughout the U.S. I think that's the motor they put in Tommy Howe's Datsun, and he ran a 699 Atco, first door slammer in the sixes. But you may know Camp Stanley by this car, an 87 Ford Taurus station wagon, powered by an Aries Root Hemi. Yeah, that's right, Hemi. If you remember talking to Alan Root, who made the Aries Root Hemi for Ford back in the day, the first pro stock motor, this car was in the pages of Super Ford magazine and brought me into the racing.
Ford Taurus station wagon. It's a lot heavier than Dr. Wacko's Jeep. It needs a lot of horsepower to make it move down the track. So they're just about ready to go. This first round of qualifying for the Wild Bunch. Stanley doesn't try burnout, so does Dr. Wacko. He got his famous nickname as a result of his wacky antics on the track. In addition to flipping his Jeep over during a burnout, he did a 360 in the middle of a run and still ran a low 10. Stanley literally sits in the back seat of that Taurus wagon. The front seat filled up with all that motor. He's got the engine set back, engine halfway under the hood, halfway underneath the dashboard. Boy, these guys are putting on a show, and did you see the wheel stand on the Jeep as he left the start line? Stanley's known as the Greasy Pygmy. It's a nickname he got from being short and always covered with grease from working on his cars. He's always built and raced unusual machines. Different is his middle name. His last ride was a Chevy Love pickup truck that was notorious for hitting the guardrail and even the Christmas tree on burnouts. Stanley drove on around him. So the big inch Ford car you're going to see here today, the 1987 Ford Taurus station wagon of Camp Stanley. Taking on that little small block Chevy powered dragster. Now the Taurus station wagon, as all you yuppies out there know, it's a direct ripoff of the Audi wagon, yes. The Camp Stanley sitting in the back seat of that Taurus. The front end, the whole front end completely modified. That big engine shoved back in the chassis. Most of the motors underneath where the dashboard was sitting big. You can see Stanley sitting in the back seat. Now, you've already seen Camp Stanley's old race car, the Just Lovin' It pickup truck. It's been replaced by this unorthodox Ford Taurus wagon. Now, Camp couldn't bear to get rid of his old truck. You know where it is now? Sitting on 4 flat tires in his backyard with weeds growing out of it.
Well, there you go. Camp Stanley's 87 Ford Taurus station wagon, 3,500 pounds, fire-breathing Aries Root Hemi. I think it was in the 600 cubic inch. Fill us in, guys, if you know. What Camp Stanley eventually did was tune for 2 race teams in New Zealand. And at times he would be back and forth to New Zealand once or twice a week. He eventually started his own race team, Stanley and Weiss Racing. His son does the driving now, and he manages the team. But look at this Cadillac CTS. It's pretty bad. This ain't your daddy's Cadillac. That is one mean machine. Another race car that they have is a 69 Camaro. That car is blown, injected, and just plain mean. Thanks, Cam Stanley, for all you did for the beginning of Pro Modified. You and the Wild Bunch were there at the beginning, and probably were the precursors of this and innovators, along with many others. At 70 years of age, you're still involved in racing, and your name lives on, Cam Stanley. Thanks, guys, for watching this tribute to Camp Stanley and the Wild Bunch. Stay tuned to DragBoss Garage.